Hi guys, thank you for joining me today here for the Keyzz overview, demo, and introduction. So when you download the app, this icon right here is the app icon that'll appear on your phone. Again, if it's available in the Google Play and the Apple Store. So I'll click and open the app. The first thing is, as you log into the app for the first time, you'll see these educational splash screens that just take you through the workflow and processes of the app. And if you don't want to see this, you can just skip this click that button in the corner to skip it. There are two ways to sign in or register. One's through Facebook, which is the easier method, and the other would be directly through your phone. A little bit more manual, but matter of minutes you'll be into the app. So I'm just going to quickly sign in through Facebook. I already have an account, so I'm not registering. So the process is a little bit different. Once you sign in for the first time, you stay signed in, so you'll never see that screen unless you exit out of the app and fully close it. Otherwise, you'll just stay signed in, and when you click the app or go into it, this is the screen that'll appear. This is the client concierge, essentially acting as your agent dashboard. And just to go through it quickly, up top you'll see the obvious, the featured category. Below that is upcoming holidays, and this shows you what events you have within the next 30 days. Um, that'll show your closings, birthdays, closing anniversaries, any holidays or seasonal events. This is where it will appear. Below that, you'll see postcards in advance. This is where you can order a postcard. Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. So if it's January and I want to order on my Christmas cards, I can go in here. I can pick out the category, so it's Christmas Day in the top left. I'll pick out one of our Christmas cards, purchase, select my whole list, proceed, go forward. Either I can write my own message or I can use the preset one and then type my credit card information in. Once you add your card, it stays within the app, so you don't have to type it in every time. And then purchase. And then again, what happens here is, the cards that I purchased today will be sent out, for Christmas, right before the Christmas holiday, or for really whatever holiday it's associated to. Below that, you'll see the gift ideas by category. We have about 6 or 7 categories right now, which you'll see. Kitchen goods, postcards, household goods, wine goods, sweets, and flowers. Outside of this, we're going to be adding a few more categories over the next couple weeks. One will be smart devices, which feature things like your Nest thermostats, Amazon Dots or Echoes. And then we'll have another category that's personalized items like monogram napkins and coasters, wine glasses, doormats, and these will have your clients' names, last name, initials, the closing year on it, etc. So that'll be available, as well as a really cool item that we have coming in, which is a canvas of the home that your clients purchased. And all of the vendors that we have in our app are accredited. They are in the United States. So they are third-party vendors that we send the order purchased through, and they will fulfill the order with tracking information, etc., that you'll also see as the user. So if I'm right now going back to the upcoming holidays, this is telling me I have 2 closings in the next 30 days. So I will get a push notification reminding me. And the way the whole workflow works is 30 days prior to an event, I'm going to get a push notification in the morning telling me I have, a closing coming up. I can swipe it open, go in the app, and buy a closing gift. If I do that, I won't be reminded for it. If I don't do anything, every 3 days, I'll get that same reminder letting me know that this event's coming up, so I don't forget. Um, and again, it'll be one notification every couple days, and I'm not going to get bombarded with notifications. It'll just come as one that morning. So this is telling me I have 2 clients in the next 30 days for closings. I can go in here and I can just pick something basic. So I'll just go into the kitchen goods, and let's just say, what you'll see is these are in order based on the price, and the category up top, you can filter it based on price, on what you want to spend. So, maybe for the closing, I want to get a basket of tea and honey gift basket. So I'll click here, purchase. I have the 2 closings. I'll click select all. The whole point is, I might be doing this for 5 clients, but the workflow is only going to be for 1 client, or it's going to be the same as if it was for one client. Again, use that associated message. I can write my own. The card's already stored, and then purchase. And what's going to happen is any gifts that you order for the closing, because your clients haven't closed on the property yet, those gifts will be sent to your office address a couple days prior to the closing. Anything after the fact, their closing address will be saved within the app, and any gifts for like future holidays or birthdays, when you click the gift, now it's going to get sent directly to their doorstep. And of course, each gift will have a message branded from you. And it'll come with a nice presentation. Now we have our side menu in the top left, which is pretty self-explanatory. Here you can import your contacts. This is a screen that'll pop up when you first download the app and register. There's a few ways to import your contact list or your current clients or past clients. You can do it directly from your phone contact list. So pretty self-explanatory. That's probably the easiest way to do it. You can, if you have your clients stored in Outlook, you can do it from there, as well as Gmail. There are two other ways to import clients. If you look at the bottom of the phone, there's 4 little icons. If I go to the third one, it's my client list. I can go up to the top right and manually add a client, or I can do a data dump, which is importing a CSV file. So if you have a CRM and you want to just do the easiest way possible, you can export your contact list from your CRM, and then you would import that list in the website. You can log in and import it that way, or you could send us the list to our support email, and we will do a data dump for you. And it takes about 3 to 5 business days, but overall it'll save you a lot of time and energy adding your clients into the app. But going back to the side menu, we also have follow-ups, which is an area where you can basically create your own customized reminders pertaining to an individual client. Orders history, which again allows you to see what you've purchased, and this would be great for write-offs and accounting purposes. You have your settings, which is where you can control and input all your personal information, like your title, your office address, your office name, etc. Obviously, where you can rate the app, it'll bring you to the App Store, and then the help button will bring you to the website, where we have an extensive help screen that can walk you through everything that I might not be able to cover today. And the bottom is where you can invite friends and share the app. Now on the bottom, like I mentioned before, you have 4 buttons. I'll go to the third button again. This is where your contacts are. Now, the basis to the whole workflow of the app as an agent, there's very little responsibility for you to do. There's about 4 things. The first thing is when you download the app, import your client database, your past clients. That's very important. And the few pieces of information you need to know in a client is the status, and then below you'll see the property address and the closing date. Now that's really important because, again, when you order a gift in the future, you get a reminder for a birthday and you click a gift. Now when you send the gift, it's automatically going to go to their closed address. And the closing date's important because it's important for the closing and it's important for the closing anniversary. So you'll get reminded to either buy that closing gift or the closing anniversary, within 30 days of this date. The statuses, you have 3 statuses: active, pending, or closed. So the second thing you have to do as an agent is when you're working with a client and you might start showing them houses, you just want to add them in the app as an active client. The easiest way to do this, again, is going back to your phone contact list and just adding them in directly to the store, into your client list itself. They're going to show up as a green dot. Now, let's say when I put a deal together with a client, I have to go back in the app. And the third thing I have to do is just change their status from active to pending. So I'm going to go here. I'll edit it. I'll change the status from active to pending. And then the other thing I have to do is type in the property address and the closing date. And what's going to happen from here is when the calendar in the app passes the closing date, the status is automatically going to go from active or from pending to closed. And that way, again, going forward, the app is going to save that address, it's going to save that closing date, and it's going to use that information and that data going forward. And most importantly, again, when you buy the gift, it's going to get sent directly to their home address. On the far right screen, now this is your notification screen. So every time I get that push notification in the morning reminding me, it's also going to show up here. If, let's say, I do not want to buy a gift or a postcard or do anything for that client, I can just come in here, I can select the notification, and it'll stop reminding me for it. Now, for instance, this is where you can control what you want to be notified for. So let's, for instance, say that I only want to send out I only want to be reminded every year for New Year's. I don't want to be reminded for, let's say, any of these other holidays. I just want to be reminded for New Year's. You can deselect. Well, you would keep that open, but you could deselect the rest of these, and that way you're only going to get a push notification reminding you 30 days in advance of New Year's or the holiday season, and you can send out a gift for those holidays. The rest, otherwise, you can pick and choose what you want to be for, and vice versa. Maybe you don't want to have to send something out for New Year's because you're sending out something for Christmas, so you would deselect New Year's and keep Christmas open, etc. And the other main feature that we have is our trips feature, which allows you to build and create your showing route so you spend the least amount of time driving. So let's say a client asks you to see 10 houses on Saturday. Well, the first thing you have to do is figure out which ones to show in order. So you're going to type in your trip name, the date of the showing, the start time, the showing time per visit. You might get through a house within 15 minutes. You might take a half hour. So in here, you're just going to change the time you're spending on per showing. And then where it says add point, this is where you're going to type in an address and you're going to add it into your showing route. And you would just keep adding all the individual trips in. So once the trip is created, it's going to show up here. But if you see this top right button, not the plus, but the one next to it, I can see my future trips and I can see the past trips that I've created. So once a trip is created, this is kind of what it looks like. You'll see the whole showing route between all your addresses. If I click this little button down here, it slides up. It'll show me the step-by-step navigation based on what time I'll be there, how long I'm going to be there for, and how long it takes me to get from one address to the next. And what's great about this is you can share this map with the client. So if they're following you or they have a mother or let's say a contractor meeting you at one specific property, well, now they have a really good idea of when you're going to be there. It's just an extra tool for you to give to them. Because certainly you know what you're doing and where you're going, but they might not. So they're going to really appreciate this. And if you need to edit anything on this trip down the line, you just click this I button and it brings you back into the whole route itself. Now, first thing is once this is all built, it's probably going to be made days in advance. So on the day of the actual showings, you would go back in here. You would go to it would actually be in today's or future trips. It would be in today. But you would select the trip. And now if you look at the little car button on the bottom right, associated with each address, you can click that, and what it does is it actually will take you, it'll sync with your navigation, and it'll take you from where you are to the first address. And by the time I get to the address, you put the app away, you go into the house, etc., and I'm done showing. When I get back in the car, and let's say I need help getting to the next address, when I open the app up, it will not even be on the screen. It'll bring you directly back to this screen right here. And the next thing I would do is I would just select the second car, boom, and now it's going to take me to the next address. So all in all, it saves you time not having to type in every address, and it's just adding another tool in your toolbox, because what the app is all about is increasing your increasing your value proposition. It's going to help you build your sphere, increase referrals and retention and everything else by nurturing your client sphere. But also it's about maximizing efficiency and saving you time, so you spend less time doing something, so you have more time to do other things. For instance, be that realtor or the real estate agent and focus on closing deals or keeping them together, etc. Because that's the whole purpose of the app is we spend so much time in our daily business. This is something that should automate some of those processes, so we can do a little bit more, make more money, and just do more with less time. And that's essentially the quick summary of the app. If you guys have any questions or further questions, again, you can check out the website, check out the support channel, the help screen, which will really walk you through everything in the app. If that's not answered there, certainly you can send us an email to support@keyzzapp.com, and we'll be happy to get to you within one business day. Thank you so much, and have a great day.